definitions which are quite important for us to look at, and the concepts and everything. So public relation is basically a way organizations or companies and individuals communicate with the public and the media. So most of the times we have a PR specialist who is in charge of these assignments to communicate what the organization has for the public, and also to communicate what the organization has for all individuals. So it's a very important entity or a section in an organization. So they do this most of the times by way of press releases. Organizations communicate by way of press releases, and then newsletters, public appearances, and others. And in recent times, the use of the World Wide Web, that is the internet, has taken shape, has given a new shape to how PR was seen in the early days. Now, I want to look at definition of public relations, but before then, we look at the public relations specialist. Who is that person, or who are they? So we look at the PR specialist, and the PR specialist has two important variables which are fundamental to the success of his or her work. One of them is knowledge to communicate with the public. So the PR specialist, for him or her to succeed in his work, should be knowledgeable in the area, okay, or the work specific, should be knowledgeable. So if it's about pharmaceuticals, the PR specialist should be knowledgeable about the area. If it's about let's say engineering, you should have some basic understanding of the area. So one, knowledge to communicate with the public. Two, skills to communicate with the public. So you may have the knowledge, but if you don't have the skills to communicate the knowledge that you have, that we are going to have difficulties with whatever you communicate. And most PR specialists are journalists. Most of them. We are not saying that you have to be a journalist, but from studies, you realize that most of the PR specialists that we have in our various organizations and other places are mainly journalists. But then their primary role, or the primary role of the PR specialist, is to attract public attention to the entity that they work with. To attract public attention. Why is attraction of public attention so salient to the work of the PR specialist? Because we live in a competitive world. And as we move on, you understand the reasons why we are saying that the basic role of the PR specialist is to attract public attention. We live in a competitive world, whereby what you do, other entities are doing same. So it will take something extraordinary for you to position your organization in the minds of the public. So for any organization to be successful in a very competitive business environment, what they have to do is that the PR section or the PR specialist of that organization should work so hard to position the entity in the minds of the public so that that entity can be competitive. Other than that, the entity cannot be competitive. Okay. As we move along, if you have any question, you let me know so that we can address it. Now, what are some of the tools that PR specialists employ to execute their objective? Let me establish this caveat that these tools that I'll be mentioning are not exhaustive. of the possible tools that the PR person or the specialist can employ. But these are some of the tools that they mostly use. So what are the tools that PR specialists use to position their entity to be competitive? One is news releases and statements for media. So news releases and statements. So you realize that organizations most of the time will release news or will release statements trying to let the public understand their positions on issues. Even when you take apart from the manufacturing industry and the service industry and those, even the political parties are doing that. Even political parties do release statements as and when, sorry, as and when they deemed necessary or as and when they deem important to release statement. So these statements are released for a certain purpose, for the public to really understand a position of the organization or a position of the political party. So news releases, statements, statement that they release is one of the tools that PR specialists employ to execute their objective of making sure that the organization is competitive. The other is newsletters that are also published out there. Then three, organizations and participation at public events. So at public events, they are invited. Some organizations are invited. And when they are invited, they come with what they want you to hear or the news about the organization. So it can be in conferences, it can be in public events, it can be in conventions. Even when churches are having their conventions, they do some of these entities do come around, and their public relations specialists do give certain information that they think they are relevant to the public and relevant to the organization. Awards night and other stuff, they are there to let people understand what they do. So we are saying that it's a very important job or a very important section of any organization. And the tools that they use are not, as I said, these tools I mentioned are not exhaustive. In recent times, we can even mention tools like the social media. In recent times, social media, where you go to TikTok, you go to Facebook, you go to Twitter or X, you go to YouTube and others, and they do utilize all these social media tools to propagate whatever they think is needful for them to do. And even blogging. Some organizations have bloggers that put their information out there for public consumption, or put the information out there for the public to understand and know exactly what they are doing. So these are other tools. That's why I said that they are not even exhaustive. These are other tools that can be used. So we can say that the first three that I mentioned could be described as the traditional tools, if you want to understand it better, traditional tools. And you can see that these two that I just mentioned, the social media platforms and the blogging, are the modern tools that are being employed in the work of the PR specialist. Now, is it anybody that can do the PR job, the public relations job, or is there anybody that can be a public relations specialist? The answer is obviously no. The answer is no. It is not everybody. It's not every Tom, Dick, and Harry that can go into the public relations job. The public relations job is done by people with a certain know-how. So a degree in communication or journalism is good. A degree in in communication or journalism is good for that job. So if you want to go in there, then you should understand that at least that degree is very important. And that is not the only thing that we will come to the others. But you realize that even people with management background, people with marketing background, and even the social science related areas can also go into public relations. But usually, those in public relations, or those that are considered public relations specialists, are those from the communication and the journalism background. Okay. Now there are definitions. Like we want to look at definitions.
So can I ask a question?
Okay. Yes, please.
They can be from
Please
the
hold on.
journalism.
Hello, please hold on for about a minute. Sorry, less than a minute. I'll get back to you. Okay. My people were disturbing me. Sorry. Please, let's ask your question.
Yeah, he said they should be from the journalism or having a communication background. What of certain companies or industries that deals in maybe specifics? Okay, maybe if a PR in the maybe oil industry or the extraction industry, I think a technical person from the oil industry can represent such industry than someone from communication, because if the person is well vested in the industry, can speak more about it better off than someone being a journalist. That is what I think. So sir, what is it?
Okay. Maybe you didn't get me. But what your contribution is very, very good. I said that usually. So the caveat was usually. You get it. The caveat was usually, or let's say most. Let me put it another way. Most of PR specialists are from the communication and or have communication and journalism background. So I even said that people from marketing background, management background, social sciences, and others in other even background can be considered. If you remember, I also said that the PR specialist should also have a know-how. So when I was talking about the knowledge to communicate what your entity is doing and how to communicate even the knowledge that you have. So what you are saying is true. As I said, that's the that yours is addition to what I was saying. That most of them are from journalism and communication background. But hey, you can do it. Or everybody, you see, everybody can do it. You need to understand the elements of how, and even if from the assuming you are in the petroleum industry, the petroleum industry can even sponsor somebody to, you know, understand what communication is. Because as I said, the knowledge of your industry is very important. But if you don't know how to communicate what needs to be communicated, you may communicate what you should not communicate. You see, there is a saying that it is not all truth that are communicated at certain points in time. Some of the truth you hold on to it, and some of the truth you release to the public. So you need to have some knowledge, some level of communicate. Even if you don't have it at all, you can study. You can study. And if you're in the industry and you communicate, you know the ins and the outs of the industry. So that makes it better. Okay. Thank you. Is that okay?
Yes, sir, it's fine.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that contribution. So definitions and scope of PR. For definitions, there are a lot of definitions, but we will take our time to look at one or two or few of them. We cannot look at all of the definitions. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, madam.
Please, can you share your screen with us so that we will be following as such?
Oh,
If you wouldn't mind.
yeah, but maybe subsequently we may. But I'm using, as at now, I have joined the feed with my phone. And
Okay.
I have other. I have two screens for the document that we present. So maybe in our next meeting, I'll try to share my screen
Okay, sir.
so that, because it's not, I have actually synthesized the document.
All right,
Same
sir.
that I'm looking at. Okay, please, I think that would be okay for now.
Yes, sir, it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, so we are saying that public relations. Okay, I think what will better help is I'm at 1.2 now. 1.2. Okay, so public relations, we say that is the management function. It's the management function which evaluates public attitude. One, identifies the policies and procedures of an organization with the public interest, and execute a program of action to end public understanding and acceptance. So public relations, basically, one, we should understand that public relations is the management function. When we say public relations is a management function, so we are saying that it is one of the cardinal areas of an organization. So as we have maybe the accounting department, we have marketing department as a functional area of the organization. As you have maybe procurement as a functional area of the organization, or as we have the R&D, that is research and development or section, as a functional area of the organization. PR is treated also as a functional area of the organization. And what is their role? Per the definition, the role of that functional area, that is the PR, is to evaluate public attitude. What is the public attitude towards the organization? So they are to evaluate public attitude. 1, 2, identify the policies and procedures of the organization with respect to public interest. So how do the entity treat the public interest? Then when that has been identified, then the organization moves on to execute a program of action so that they could end public understanding and acceptance. So the public relations section of the organization, or public relations as a management function, is basically to manage the entity, to manage the organization, and manage the public of the organization. So when we talk of the public here, or the publics of the organization, we are talking about those with interest, customers of the organization, prospective customers of the organization, and even others who do not even have the idea of being around the organization. These constitute the public. So we manage the organization, manage the public, in order to position the organization in the minds of the public. To position the organization in the minds of the public. So that is the basic role of the PR section as a management function of the organization. That is the basic role of the PR section of the organization. Now, there are other known definitions. There are a lot of them, known definitions that we can look at. So let's take one or two. So I'll take one by Sam Black in 1989. In his definition, he says that practical public relations he defines practical public relations as the fundamental purpose of the public relation practice. He says that the fundamental purpose of the public relation practice is to establish a two-way flow of mutual understanding based on truth, knowledge, and full information. So Sam Black is saying that public relations should be a two-way communication where we have the sender and the receiver. The sender encodes the message to the receiver, and the receiver posts the message. And if there is any feedback loop, per two-way communication, a feedback loop is always instituted or ensured that we have something like that, where the receiver can give a feedback to the sender to really understand whatever was communicated. And that is also a signal. When that feedback is given, is a signal that whatever was communicated is really understood. So Sam Black is of that opinion. Let's pick the other. Let's pick one from Edward Binding, and say that he said that he defines it as the attempt by information, persuasion, and adjustments to engineer public support for an activity, cause, movement, or institution. So he is also saying that for public education, it's about information engineering. If you can mute your microphone. It's about information engineering, where it's like in recent times, or about 10 to 20 years ago or 15 years ago, we had first time of Ghanaians hearing something like financial engineer, like Wyoming was a financial engineer, if you remember. So he is saying that, Edward is saying that public relations is about information engineering in an attempt to put an engineered information out there in order to persuade the public to align with the entity's ambition. Okay, to align with the entity's ambition for the entity to achieve its objective. Basically, that is what Edward is saying. So for any activity, cause of movement or institution, basically that is what he's saying. And the last, let me look at the last bulletin. He said that to sum up the various definitions, we define public relation as a strategic communication process. It's a strategic. So in management, when the word strategic is mentioned, then that thing is playing a pivotal role in whatever objective the entity wants to attain. So we say that to sum up the various definitions, we define public relation as a strategic communication process and a professional tool for analyzing situations and finding solutions to them by giving information and persuasion to help promote or gain positive public perception. So you see, so PR ultimately is to gain positive public perception of what they do. That is PR. So the PR specialist, when everything is said and dusted, the PR specialist will then come to try to iron things out, especially if they are not well iron things out, and try to further explain what the person said that the public maybe did not understand. That is why politicians normally uses this. They say that, oh, they are not all patron. They say what he meant was, then he will come and iron, or she will come and iron issues out for a positive public perception of what they do. Okay. So there are analysis of the definition 1.3. It says that a planned effort or management function. So that's what we're looking at. To the relationship, it looks like the relationship between an organization and its public. 3, it looks at the definitions. We're looking at evaluation of public attitudes and opinions. The evaluation was also looking at steps taken to ensure that policies, procedures, and actions are in the public interest and socially responsible. That execution of an action and or communication programs. Then the last but not the least, that the development of rapport, goodwill, understanding, and acceptance through a two-way communication is achieved. So summing up the various definitions, these analyses are what comes up that we can look at. Now, there are working definitions of public relations. Working definitions. So when you say profession, what do we mean? Profession. So profession is a practice of a skilled art or service based on training, a body of knowledge, and adherence to agreed standards of ethics and procedure. So when we say profession, the public relations profession, they are saying that somebody who has the skills or the art, okay, based on training. So you don't just get up and say that I'm a public relations professional. What is your skill? What is the training? What training have you accumulated over the period? And this training should come from, and this knowledge and everything should come, this training and skills should come from a body of knowledge. And you make sure that the public relations professional adheres to an agreed standards of ethics and procedure. What one standard of ethics and procedure that we can say is that the public relations officer must understand. Let me put this way: whatever secret there is in the organization,
Dr. Dennis, please, your line is unstable.
you don't give that out. You only communicate what will give a positive image. Not the same.
Please, it's on and off. It has been on and off.
Is it okay?
It's okay now.
Yeah.
Yes,
So whenever it's like that, maybe you draw my attention quickly, and maybe I'll go off and come back because it's our network. Question. We are talking about practice of a skilled act or service based on training, a body of knowledge, and adherence to agreed standards of ethics and procedure. So you don't just get up and do anything that you want to do. It with certain laid down procedures that ought to be respected in the profession. Then the public, when you talk about this has come up a lot of times. So the public is made up of a group of people. So the public, your public, are those who have interest in your organization. They are your public. Okay. Then managing, that is the act of conducting an enterprise or program in the interest of the public, owners, and management, and in accordance with policy. So you don't manage anyhow. You manage with the public in mind. You manage with the owners in mind. We understand that sometimes the owners of the organization might not necessarily be the managers of the organization. The managers of the organization could be around or could be there, but then they have given these organizations or entities to a group of people to manage for them. So the owners accounts to the managers' accounts to the owners. So they manage for the public, they manage for the owners, and they manage in accordance. They do all this in accordance with laid down procedures or laid down policies. And what is a policy then? What is a policy? A policy is the plan by which management sets out to accomplish its objective. That is a policy. The plan that that management adapts to accomplish its objective. The mass media is a vehicle of communication. It's a vehicle of communication. And when we talk about advertising is the use of a hired or paid medium of communication. So we can have the mass media and others. The lobbying is not unethical. It is ethical. So lobbying is the attempt to influence the voting behavior of legislators on behalf of a specific interest or causes. So sometimes I think in one of the vetting or a procedure in Parliament, I've forgotten exactly, that the issue came up that somebody lobbied them with some. Lobbying is not bribery. Lobbying is influencing somebody to agree with your position. That is lobbying. So I can lobby somebody. I can lobby an institution. I can lobby an individual. So in PR, there is lobbying. There is lobbying. And news. When I talk of,
I have a question on the lobbying.
So I knew that a question will come from lobbying. Yes.
Practically, when you're going for contracts within Ghana that we find ourselves in, aside your pitch, there's an aspect or there's a bit of payments or contribution you have to make. Okay. In order to get the person to buy into your pitch. You understand? So it might not be necessary bribery, but someone who sees transactional, aspects, will still say it to be bribery.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I would say.
Yes. So thank you very much. So lobbying is allowed. Lobbying is always allowed. It's not bribery. But as he said, most of the time we think that when you lobby, then you are bribing people. No, you are not. And it's not even all lobbies that comes with that has financial how do you call it? That comes with financial issues. Sometimes it's just letting the person understand your position, understand the significance of what you want to do, and things will just fall in place. Okay. Then public news. When you talk of news is information about current events. So anything is news. It can be accidental, it can be inaccidental, it can be planned, that is news. So sometimes the public relations specialist or officer, they can create news. They can create news. If they want to be heard, they can create news. So it can be inaccidental. Some of them are accidental. But understand that they can create news and put the news out there for people to follow. And sometimes this is mostly done by politicians, the political parties that we have. They will create news for the other party to follow. They'll drag it along. And before you realize, they are done with whatever they want to do. Publicity. Publicity is the dissemination of purposefully planned and executed message. News releases are articles are also part of publicity. Then press agentry. That is creating news events of a transient nature, often of sensational or attention-catching nature. So news that are carved or created in order to catch the attention. These are the press agentry. Media relations is basically dealing with the communications media in seeking publicity or responding to their interests in the organization. Then the most popular one that we've heard over the years, propaganda. Propaganda. Somebody will say propaganda. Propaganda. Propaganda is not evil, as people want us to believe. Propaganda is not evil. But so what is it? Propaganda basically is efforts to influence the opinions of a public, to propagate a doctrine or an ideology or a cause of interest or an interest, a cause or an interest. That is propaganda. So churches do employ propaganda. Organizations do employ propaganda. Political parties do employ propaganda. Individuals do employ propaganda. Everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry do employ propaganda. So it is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But it's the efforts to influence the opinions of the public. In order to propagate your doctrine or your ideology or your interest. That is propaganda. Community relations, dealing and communicating with the citizens and groups in the vicinity of an organization's geographical region. That is community relations. So community relations, normally how an entity relates to its immediate environment. How the organization relates to its immediate environment. So the immediate environment, the scope of this immediate environment depends on what organization we are looking at. So the immediate environment I mentioned is not cast in stone. I mean, we can vary the immediate environment. So if you operate, let's say, Anglo Gold, yes, maybe Anglo Gold, maybe they are in New Abrim, they operate over there. So that I've forgotten the exact name of the mining company in New Abrim. But so the community is the immediate surrounding. That's the immediate surrounding of New Abrim. So they relate with them. They communicate with the vicinity of the organization. And ethics, you say that is the signs of moral duty in conformity with principles of conduct accepted in a culture. So every entity or every organization has its own ethics. Every organization has its own ethics. These ethics are not laws. That's
Newmont is the one mining in New Abrim.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. So that's Newmont. Okay. So ethics are not laws. Ethics are moral principles. Ethics are values accepted in a culture. So when talk of accepted in a culture, every organization, every environment has a culture. What is a culture? I remember my JSS teacher told me that culture is the way a group of people live, blah, blah, blah. But now, when I look at my case book, I think it's evolving. They are adding other things. Okay, so every organization has a culture, how things are done in the organization. That is the culture. So when we talk of ethics, then we are talking about these moral principles, these values that are accepted by an organization based on what the culture deemed acceptable. Okay. Then PR professional is the agent of management assigned to describe and interpret policies and procedures to publics and seek their response and convey same to the management. So we understand from this definition that The PR professional is like the liaison, is a liaison between the organization and the public. So they liaise between them, and they take information from the organization to the public, and they take information from the public to the organization. So they are the go-between. They are the go-between. Okay, as we used to say when we were kids, we used to say betweener. But ladies and gentlemen, there is no word called betweener. It's a go-between. So the PR professionals liaise between the organization and the public. They have the government relation. Government relation basically that's a dealing and communication with the employees of an organization. Dealing and communicating with the employees of the organization. So sometimes government agencies, like maybe University Teachers Association, like the Ghana Medical Association, like the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, the communication, the dealings that goes between the government and these employees is a government relation. Then industrial relation, dealing and communicating with the employees of, dealing and communicating with firms within the industry in which the organization operates. That is, the industrial relation. So I believe that we are all familiar with the fact that I'm mentioning, because it has popped up here. That's what I'm mentioning, that there's a difference between organization and industry. There's a difference between organization and industry or company or an entity. So when you talk of organizations, when you talk of industry comprises of entities or organizations or companies that are into substitute services, or that produces substitute services or substitute goods. In other words, if I produce Tampico, then Shatawale, who is a musician, cannot be in the same industry with me. Possibly Shatawale and Patapa are in the same industry, but myself and let's say you fresh, yes, maybe we could be in the same industry. So we are saying that the industry relation is dealing and communicating with firms within the industry, dealing and communicating with firms in that industry in which the organizations operates. Okay. So please, we are moving on. Key concepts and the PR department in an organization. So we have some fundamental or key concepts in public relations here. Fundamental and key concept. So when you say deliberate, we should understand that public relations, please, a second. Oh, sorry. Okay. So when I say deliberate, public relations activities are intentional. It's purposeful. So it's deliberate. Planned. Public relations activities are planned. When you say planned, they are organized and they are executed. So it's not like a spontaneous sort of, mostly they are organized. They are organized. Performance. Effective public relations is based on actual policies and performance. So we measure performance, and performance must be effective and purposeful. Then two-way communication, we've come across this. Like when there is there is a response, there is communication from, there's a message that is sent from the sender, and there is a response from the receiver. That is two-way communication. Management function. Sorry, please. Sorry. I'm very sorry. The kid was trying to disturb me. Sorry. The management information. We say that public relation is most effective when it is a strategic and integral part of decision making by top management. So management function. So we have explained what management function is, that it should not be considered as a subsection of a department. That public relations must be seen as a function, as a sector, as a functional area in the organization. Now let's look at PR department in businesses. PR department in businesses. So we need to understand that the PR departments are not the reserve of only large or well-established companies. For best practices, every organization is so established should have a PR department. Should have a PR department. You know, because as I said earlier, to get a competitive advantage over your competitors, you might need PR department as a functional area in your organization to achieve that. If you decide to, if you think less of the PR department, that will negatively affect what you do. And you remember, you are in a competitive world. Some organizations, as we speak, have collapsed their PR units, while others have amalgamated the PR unit with other sections or unit to give them a new name. So just like that, to give them a new name, because they think that it is not that important for it to be a management function. But let's amalgamate it. Let's bring it together with another department and let it run. But it should not be so. If really you want the benefit therein to inure to your organization, then you treat PR sections as it should be in your organization. So sometimes they give it a new name. They amalgamate them and give them a new name, like marketing public relations, like advertising and public relations, and so on. But that is not, that should not be. Why do they do that? One, because sometimes they don't know the significance of the PR as a functional area. Two, sometimes people want to do this to be smart as a result of financial constraints, budgetary constraints. So they want to bring this two together, or they want to bring a lot of them together with PR. You know, when they think that their works are similar, I mean, they can work together, then they will do that. But that is not the best practice. PR should stand alone, should be a standalone section in an organization. So we have some synonyms of PR. When people, so we go to McDonald's and BMW, they call the PR the corporate communication. General Motors, that's GM, they just call it communications. You go to places like IBM, it's marketing and communications. You go to like Facebook, it's communications and public policy. You go to Johnson & Johnson, it's public affairs and corporate communication. You go to Coca-Cola, it's worldwide public affairs and communication. You go to FedEx, it's worldwide communications and investor relation. So people have given so many synonyms to this, and you could see that most of these synonyms are amalgamation, bringing departments together to form that. Then PR department in governance and non-profit organization. What are the synonyms over there? synonyms of the PR section or PR department in government agencies and non-profit organizations. What are the synonyms? Public Information and Public Affairs, Office of Public Affairs, Ministry of Information and Communication, PR departments and offices. See, so all these things are there. Some terminologies used in PR, propaganda, we've said it, campaign is a concerted, single-purpose public publicity program, usually on a more or less elaborated scale. Lobbying, we have looked at lobbying. Then publicist. Who is a publicist? A person who deals exclusively with placement of stories in the media is a publicist. Press agent, a specialist operating within the subcategory of PR that concentrates on finding unusual news angles and planning events that attract media attention. Okay. The PR industry, we're talking about the PR industry. The PR industry, some are in-house and some operate on consultancy basis. So when you talk of PR industry, those that are in-house, that is the PR section is originally part of the organization. So when you check the organizational organogram, you realize that it is part of the organization. Then we have the consultancy. Consultancies are not part, originally, they are not part of the organization. They are brought in as and when the need be. In fact, they are hired. Their services are paid for by the entity. But those, the in-house one, they draw salaries at the end of every month. But the consultants, they will come and charge you for a certain task that you want them to perform. So the PR industry is made up of the in-house ones that we normally refer to them as the PRO, public relations officers. And we have those consultants who have established their firms for people to come in so that they can charge them some money. So when you talk the in-house, there are pros and cons of having an in-house public relations, and then there are pros and cons of bringing in a consultant when they need the be. So now, what are the pros? The pros, we could say that they are advantages. We could also say that they are merits. So when you see merits of in-house PR or pros of in-house PR or advantages of in-house PR, we are talking about the same thing. Okay, so the pros, what are they? Officers full-time service. Those that are in-house, they are full-time, as I said. So they draw salaries. They don't come as and when you need them and go. They are full-time. So they come to work 8 and close at 4 or 5 or whatever time they close. So they are in-house. They are part of the organization. They understand the ins and the outs of the organization. Now, we also have the next advantage or the next merit or pros is that good lines of communication. They really understand how to communicate and how to communicate what they need to communicate. So they have good lines of communication. Then continuity of personnel. They are there. So assuming Mr. A is not there, Madam B is there, they understand what they're in the organization. They know exactly what is happening. They know how to go about what is happening, how to communicate what is happening. So there is a continuity of personnel. There is no gap. Like I come, I don't know, where were you? Where did you get to? No, there is nothing like that. Everybody, all hands are on deck, so they understand whatever is happening. Then value for money in the long term. So in the long term, these in-house people accumulate knowledge. And there is something called experience curve. The more you work over the years, the more experience you accumulate and the more efficient you become. So in the long run, there is value for money for whatever you are paying them. They will accumulate knowledge over time and they will be very efficient with time. Proximity and access, they are closer to you. The in-house one, they are closer to you. You can have access to them as and when you need them. You don't have to be calling them. They'll be giving you excuses and no, these ones are here. As and when their services are important, you fall upon them for them to do the needful. And they are loyal. Why are they loyal? They are part of the organization. Assuming the organization collapses, their daily bread also collapses. So loyalty is there. They have become part, the bonding. They have established that bond. So they are loyal to the organization, unlike the consultants who just come in to do his bit and just move away. Then the cons, the disadvantages.
Hello, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yeah, please, can you go over the in-house and then the consultant person?
Oh, okay.
I didn't get that, please.
Okay. I was saying that when talk of in-house are those that are with the organization. They are part of the organizational structure. They draw salaries from the organization. They are not hired to perform a task and go. But the consultants are not part of the organization. Their services are called for as and when they need them, or as and when the need arises. Then the consultants are called for. But the in-house are part of the organization. They are part of the everyday life of that organization. They are part. So they grow with the organization. You know, they benefit with the organization. Everything, they are part of the organization. But the consultants are not like that. For them, they will come and render service to the organization, and they go back to their office or to their organization. That is a consultancy. Okay. So we are done with the merits of the in-house. Now we want to look at the demerits or the disadvantages or the cons of the in-house. One, lack of impartiality. Sometimes these guys, you cannot trust their impartiality. You know, they can be partial as and when they think that they are not. Sometimes they think that they are not even treated well, and that they can do anything that they want to do. So for their impartiality, there's a lack of it. They can be partial. Two, narrower range of experience. Sometimes, as compared with the consultants, the in-house personnel may not be so much glued to the ins and the outs of the profession, of the PR profession. Sometimes they may be novice who are coming up, so the experience is not there. But for a consultant, they have accumulated experience over time. So the experience-wise, consultants will be better than the in-house some of the times, not all the times. Then three, poor person specification and job specification. So those who have done some HR will understand what person specification is and what job description is. So when talk of in a job advertisement, you advertise the person specification. The person specification has to do with who do we want. Okay, we want somebody with a degree in BCom. We want somebody with a degree in BSc this, BSc that, or that, HND that. The person should have this experience, should work with this number of years, should be conversant with data visualization, should be conversant with Tableau, SQL, whatever. All these are the person's specification. And the job description is what you will do, the specifics, what you will do if you are ultimately hired for the job. So these are the two. So we are saying that sometimes there is poor person specification and job specification. You know, part of the world, sometimes my uncles, niece, daughters, friends, brothers, wife, you know, that kind of thing. So sometimes we forgo some, certain things that are important to our organization. So person specific and job description may be poor. Now, the consultancy, the pros, independent or non-biased. For them, they are independent or non-biased. They don't care about whatever you are interested in. For them, you hire them to come and do the work, and they will give you an independent and unbiased result, outcome. They don't have to engineer information. They don't have to manipulate whatever result they will get. So they will give you accurate information. Varied experience. So in a consultancy, you have the consultants having varied experience. This has experience in this person has in that, this. So when they bring all of the experiences together, they present a better option, or they present value for your money because of the varied experience that they bring to bear on the assignment that you have given them. Then proximity to media and the public. So these guys are, the proximity to media and the public cannot be compared with the in-house PR professional. They have linkages with people. So if there is anything that you want them to even publish for the public to get access to, the proximity to media and the public is top notch. It's top notch. Then cost saving in the short term. So you realize that in the short term, you can save costs with the consultants. You can save costs because they'll come and they will go. They will do the work for you. You go, you get the competitive advantage. Unlike the in-house people, for them they'll be staying with you and be drawing salaries. Possibly they might not be doing anything. So in the long run, you realize that they are a cost to your organization. But this consultant, for the short term, it is cost saving. They come and they go. So you don't even keep them. They don't draw salary every month. So when they come, they work, they go. It's not every month. So if for 10 years you have not encountered a problem that you need them, or you think you don't need their service, you don't spend on them. You don't spend on them. Then what are their disadvantages or the merit?
The proximity to media.
Yes.
The consultancy.
Yes.
Maybe because of their experience and the number of times that they've been in operation, maybe they might be aligned to either or some of the media houses that can even help to spread whatever communicate that the company intend to put out.
Exactly
compared to the in-house. Yes.
Yeah, exactly my point. So they have that rapport with a lot of them because they've been around for some time. Okay, thank you. Then the cons, the disadvantages or the advantages. Their loyalty is not something to write home about. In fact, they can be disloyal. They can be disloyal. So they have divided loyalty. You don't know who you are dealing with from the word go. You don't even know who you are dealing with. By the time you realize your information could be with your competitor.
Hello, sir.
Yes, madam.
Please, I want to ask, has there been a case where a consultant has gone against maybe the rules of a company, or they published something different that the company has asked them to or has approved?
Okay, I have not come across any of such. Okay. But then it's also
talk about the divided loyalty.
I was saying that with the divided loyalty, what I was saying is that you don't know who you are working with. Okay. Sometimes there are a lot of unethical things that goes around the business environment that have not come out. Okay. Or some have come out, but possibly we've not heard. You see, okay. Somebody can liaise your information to your competitor.
Yeah.
Just give it out. but you may never know.
Okay.
So in such cases, you see that your competitor will take advantage of that. Or it could also be possible, it could also be possible that maybe the consultants, as I said, they are a group of people coming together to work for you, might have relatives who are in similar business with you. You are in the same industry. They may end up not giving you it's possible that they may end up not giving you the right output, or they might manage the information for you, especially when they have a divided interest or loyalty, possibly for a competitor to outweigh you in that business environment. So it's possible. I have not heard of such because it is highly unethical. And if a consultant should be caught in that net, that is the end of your consultancy. What collapse your consultancy? Because nobody will ever do business with you.
Yeah.
Yes. So it may come up, but we may not know. But if yes, you may not have heard of it. But if it should come out, but that possibility is there. That possibility is there. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lack of relationship intimacy. Yes, they don't have any relation. They don't know anybody in that organization. They don't have that bond. That bond, unlike the in-house PR professional, it's not here. It's not there. It's not there. That bond is not there. Then lack of specialized knowledge. Sometimes the problem that you may be facing, they might not have that specialized knowledge in there. You see, the consultant is not a repository of knowledge. That is not that. It's like my first degree lecturer will tell me, like Oko University, when they come home, then anything in the village, they will say that, oh, let's go and ask Mami Manse's son. He has been to the university. And they will come and they will ask him, they will just look at their faces. He doesn't know anything about what they are talking about. So the consultant is not a repository of knowledge. It's not. So the problem that you may face in, the consultant may not know anything about it at all. May not know anything about it. But they will consult for you. Okay. They will end up touching bits and pieces of whatever your problem is. So they might end up giving you maybe 25 milligrams of a certain anti-malaria. Probably you need a 50 milligram. So these are some of the things. Now, requirement, qualification, and training for the PR professional.
Sir, before we go to that, can we go to 2.3, the press agent and the
2.3.
yes, up there. You know, with the
Okay.
press agents in the book, they are saying they are specializing in placing,
Okay.
placing stories in the media. It could be in the traditional media or this digital media. But with that is the publicist, okay.
Yeah,
But
that's
with the press agents, specialized operating within a subcategory of PR that concentrates on finding unusual news angle. Do you have any example? Yeah, any example of the unusual new angles?
Okay, so finding unusual new angle PR that concentrates on finding unusual news angles and planning events that attract media attention. Okay, so as we said, we are saying that these ones operate. So it's a subsection of the PR. Let's say the PR department. Of the PR department. So if there is any news, any area that the PR department of the organization is not that conversant with, conversant with, is not their area, it's not something that they are much interested in, this press agent will find these unusual news angles and then plan an event to attract media attention to that area in the organization. I know specific example. Let me see. With this, I think there is this pricing with this oil companies.
Okay.
With these oil companies, you see that now. I think Star Oil
And Goyle.
and Go. You see that they are in. If you can call it price war or something like that, they are in price war, and there is that problem that is emanating from their end. You realize that the PR specialists might see, because this is the first time the public we are even hearing of some of these things.
Yeah.
So the PR department might not be familiar with some of these grounds, and this might be an unusual news angle. So what they do, they might have to plan and see how to execute an event that attracts the attention of the media. And you see, yesterday I was listening to Newspal, and I was listening to I think City FM. I've forgotten the name of their DS, and this became a very topical issue. And one man, I've forgotten, is it Tony something Hoshi or something like that? I've forgotten the name. Something Hoshi came up, and you see, they are now going what?
Senor Hoshi.
Yes, Senor Hoshi. And now they're coming up throwing more light on some of these things. So the PR agent will break that interest, will break that area for them to plan. Sometimes they will plan specially hire. Hello?
Hello, sir, I'm listening.
They will plan. Okay, hire the media and everything with their plan agenda to execute that agenda in their interest. So that is what the press agents are a sub of the public relations organization, and as and when the need arises, then it is activated.
Okay.
So we are going to 3 qualifications. So let's zoom into the required PR qualification and training. So I think the PR qualification, I mentioned one of them. I said that usually those with the background in communication and journalism, we mostly find them to work in that area. But as I said, that does not exhaust it. But even those with English background, I said management background, business or media studies background, marketing background, behavioral science background can go into it. Can go into PR training. And even if you don't have these background, some people decide to take postgraduate course or courses in PR. So maybe postgraduate qualification in PR will also do. So if you have, though you did mathematics, but you have postgraduate qualification in public relations, you can also perfectly fit into that area. Then other things may qualify you. Work experience within the circles may be of great help. So within work experience within the circles of PR, with the circles of marketing, with the circles of fundraising, event promotion, journalism, and other things can also help you fit into that area. Now, key skills for public relations officers. Key skills for public relations officers. 1, excellent oral and written communication skills. 2, excellent interpersonal skills. 3, good IT skills. Good IT because now PR is taking a new paradigm. Social media and other stuff, mailing letters and other. So good IT skills. Presentation skills. Good presentation skills. Ability to take initiative. Ability to patronize and plan effectively. Awareness of different media agendas. You should be aware that now the media houses, some of them may have the agenda. So you should understand. Then creativity. We should be creative. Now, typical employers of public relations officers. Typical employers. Who employs them? Advertising and marketing agencies, consultancies, commercial and industrial organizations, private companies, retailers, manufacturers, charities, government organizations. They employ PR professionals. Now, essential career skills required in PR. We have one, the Commission on Public. Okay. So the career PI takes more than a good degree. So remember, we said that you should have a degree in public relations, fundamentally, and journalism, and other stuff that we just, even a postgraduate course will even help. But then, a career in PR takes more than a good degree. It takes more than a good degree. Somebody can have the degrees, but the degrees will be a burden for him or her. Because if you ask him or her to explain A or B, it will be very difficult. So it takes more than that. So to be successful, you need to be an all-rounder with skills in everything from research and communication to writing and creativity. I mean, you should have the skills that we just said. So if you have the degree and don't have the key skills for public relation officers, you I don't know how to describe it. That person will be good for nothing. Okay, the certificate alone will not do anything, but the skills will do everything. So here are some of the skills required in PR. Here are some of them. Okay, the Commission on Public Relations Education recommend 5 main courses requisite for a career. So introduction to public relations, public relations research, measurement and evaluation, public relations writing and production, supervised work experience in public relations, that's internship, an additional public relations course in law and ethics, planning and management, and case studies or campaigns. Recommended further courses in areas such as marketing, management, economics, social psychology, and multicultural communication. Communication skills, research ability, planning expertise, problem-solving ability, business or economics competence, expertise in social media. These are very important. Qualification for success in the PR profession. Qualities for success in PR profession. 1, stability and common sense, drive and enthusiasm, wide-ranging interest and intellectual curiosity, tolerance for frustrations, styles, courtesy. These are very important. Then work as assignments of PR professional, writing, editing, media relations and placement, special event, speaking, production, research, counseling, training, management. These are work assignments of PR professional. Work assignment, I mean, you're expected to do this. So in other words, you can say that generically, this could be a job description for everyday PR professional. Now, the diversity of public relations work. What are the diversity? These are the diversities. When you say counseling, what entails? Research, what entails? Media relations. When we talk about publicity, employer-member relations, what entails? These are the diversity in the work of the PR. These are public affairs, government affairs, issues management, financial relations, industry relations, development or fundraising, multicultural relations or workplace diversity, special events, marketing communications. These are the diversity of the public relations work. So whilst in counseling, providing advice to management concerning policies, relationship, and communication, in marketing communication, the public relations officer combines activities designed to sell a product, service, or idea. Okay, you combine the tools of marketing communication. The tools of marketing communication includes advertising, public relations, as we consider that as a tool, exhibition, sponsorship. These are all tools for marketing communication. So the public relations officer understands some of these things, the diversity in his or her job description. Then the usual PR clients. Who are they? PR services are solicited by many organizations and individuals who wants to create a better image for themselves. So these are the governments and public officials also solicit for the PR professionals' work. They are clients for them. Businesses are clients for the PR professional. Non-profit making organizations, NGOs, notable individuals. If you are rich, you are rich. Maybe Priscilla, when tomorrow you are rich or today you are rich, you can hire somebody to speak on your behalf. Maybe Isaac, you can
Amen to that.
You can hire somebody to speak on your behalf if you are rich. So all these are clients to the PR professional. How to utilize PR services. How to utilize PR service. One, we are saying that organizations and individuals who decide to use PR services hire a PR firm or specialist for specific tasks. So if you want to use a PR service, you hire them for a specific task, or they become part of your organization. They become part of your, and many also work with PR firms on a regular basis. That's what I'm saying. So they become part of your organization. A growing number of companies and organizations have their own PR departments. Yes. So this is how to utilize PR. You bring them as and when you want it, or you work with them on regular basis, or they become a department in your organization. PR writing. PR writing. So if you have your soft copy or hard copy with you, you see that for this one, you see that public, then code, blah, 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 Bachelor of Commerce will come there. That is a typo. That is a typo. So please note that. It's not part of what should be there. So the word should be public. So you see that the PUB is here. Then after what has been inserted that I'm saying, up to commerce that I'm saying is not part of it. You see, you have LIC, public. So that should not be there. Okay, so note that, please. Now, we want to look at 7 essential elements of good PR writing that will help make your press materials clearer, more concise, and more compelling to journalists and other readers. 7 essential elements. 1 is planning. Before you start writing, you should plan. Know your objective. Your objective must meet the SMART criteria or the SMART model. That whatever you are planning, your objective for the plan should be specific, it should be measurable, should be achievable or attainable, as other books will put it. It should be realistic and it should be time-bound. So plan. Know your objective, who your target audience are, and what type of outlets you will be pitching. You should understand this. Then your storytelling. So it's been said that good stories happen to those who can tell them. So your storytelling, the PR professional, you should understand how to tell your story to the public. You shouldn't start from A, then go to M, then come to C, then go to Z, then come to W. Your storytelling will be haphazard. People might not follow the the story very well and might not get the logic in the story. So know how to tell your story. Empathy. You should always put yourself in the shoes of the public, your public. It's like maybe they have increased water and electricity tariffs. And maybe one morning, one media house calls the PRO. Hey, you have increased this. How come these things are like that? And what we use in processing water, what we I mean, you should empathize with the people. Even if you want to charge us that tariff, I mean, try to empathize with us and know how to communicate what you have. Context is everything. Context is everything. You can tell somebody, oh, you are what you are saying there, I don't think it doesn't make sense. The person might not be angry, but if you tell that same person you are stupid, the person will be angry with you. Context, how to place whatever you want to say is very important. So context help journalists and their readers to understand the broader significance of your story and how it fits into the larger context of the industry or the larger context of the public opinion. So context is very important. The flow of whatever you are writing. Good writing has a rhythm that carries the reader along like a catchy melody. So you see, there are certain things that when you are reading, you can't stop. There are certain things when you are listening, you don't want to get up from your radio or get up from your television set. You want to listen to the end. Why? The flow of whatever is being communicated takes you along. The way it pans out, the way the story pans out, the flow of it is very important. Then structure, the way you organize your story, which ideas you present, and in what order, can have a major impact on whether the reader hits delete halfway or not. Then the 7th point, accuracy. The best writing in the world won't matter if you get your facts wrong. You see, I don't know, but at our basic level, when we were schooling, you could see that somebody could have a very nice handwriting. Oh, sure, the end to say, hey, I throw my first copy book, but the person might not be writing anything. But the person might not be writing. Accuracy, giving what you want to give, and in the right dose at the right time is very important. Accuracy. So these are the 7. I have termed this as the 7 tenets of PR writing. 7 tenets. 7 tenets of PR writing. We can still go by what the model says: 7 essential elements of good PR writing. Okay. So we go to the 4. That is history of PR. The history of PR. PR started way back around the 18th century. So it is not today. Even when God came to the Garden of Eden and God called them Adam. Adam was there with Eve. Called them Adam. So when God was called Adam, God was actually calling Adam and Eve. He said, where are you? He said that I'm naked, or we are naked. Why? He said that we've eaten the fruit and blah 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 blah. Then Adam started. Is the woman. The woman also became the PR of the snake. Is the snake defending the independence? So PR started not now. 18th century PR has started. With prominent people like Ivy Lee, Remember, this I believe is not a woman, oh, it's a man. You see, we had once upon a time we had a U.S. ambassador or high commissioner in Ghana, ambassador, yeah, and he was called Linda, but he was a male. So understand. So Ivy Lee in 1877, around 1877, we have Edward Binding, also around the 18th century, 1891, and others. So he started a long time ago. But the practice today, how it was practiced and the practice today has seen tremendous change. PR, as we have it today, and the ancient times are different in terms of one, practice, how it was practiced. Conceptually, in terms of size, scope, significance, it's not the same as today. The significance level of PR in 18th century is not the same as we have now. And people were not the profession, the seriousness with which people make profession out of PR was not like it used to be. The Ivy Leagues and other things were those first that we can say that they were first people to be considered to be PR professionals. Though there is an argument as to Ivy Lee and Edward Bindings, who is the father of PR. But a lot of people say that AD is the father of PR. But there is that still, the argument is still there as to who is the father of PR. And we see that this growth that we are talking about in terms of practice and profession, this growth has been particularly dramatic in the last few decades. And it's been accompanied by a growing recognition of public relations in our recent times. It's said that public relations is very crucial in our recent times, unlike it used to be some years ago. And today, many corporations, many government agencies, non-profit organizations, and a lot of them have PR or public relations function as part of their traditional organizational organogram. And they have a traditional role that they perform in that organization. So we are saying that whether the founder of modern PR is Ivy or Edward, that matter remains debatable, but we leave that for those who wants to debate it. They have done a lot of work. Both of them have done a lot of work. Like Edward, for instance, have done a tremendous work in the area of PR, and he took inspiration from his uncle Sigmund Freud. And Sigmund Freud was the one who theorized, how do you call it? Oedipus. He theorized something. I think Oedipus complex. Yes, Oedipus complex is an issue that happened some time ago. And if you have ever come across Olaro to means the gods are not to blame, it takes its sources from or inspiration from Oedipus Rex. Okay, and so this uncle theorized the Oedipus complex, where in Oedipus complex they say that a child has affection for the opposite parent. A child has affection for the opposite parent, and that is exactly what happens in Oedipus Rex and the gods are not to blame, where Odewale ultimately married the mother without knowing. Okay. So I believe has done something good that has been summarized in 3 points, and that of Edward summarized in 5 points. I believe we look at that. Rex Harlow in 1920s also did some good work that has been summarized in 4 bulletins. Now, stages in the development of modern public relations. The stages. So we have these stages over there. The first stage is the ancient Greek or Egyptian and Roman rhetoricians. We realize that the biblical events, Moses was sort of a PR, where Moses liaised between God and the Israelites. Then in ancient Greece, verbal wars in competing for leadership was also very prominent. Then ancient Romans, they saw that yes, PI was very important. So they deemed God as that. So in Julius Caesar, one of Julius Caesar's book or plays, there is a saying, I don't know if you've come across this saying, voice populi, voice Dei. Voice populi, voice Dei, meaning the voice of the people is the voice of God. Then we came to the next stage. That's around the 17th century. We say that Pope Gregory establishment of propaganda college to spread Christianity in the Middle Ages. Like the Romans had that intention of spreading Christianity across the world. So they established this propaganda section of the Roman Church to make sure that the agenda of spreading Christianity goes around the world. Then the American Revolution and the 2 world wars. So we look at American Revolution and realize that people like Henry Ford, Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt was the 26th president of the United States of America. And people like Ivy Lee and others contributed tremendously to PR in the United States. And you realize that we are told that even Ivy Lee became one of the PR counselors for organizations like for organizations that emerged in the US. In the US, a typical one is the Rockefeller organization. So he served as the advisor to John Rockefeller. Rockefeller was a very endowed man. When I say endowed, he had a lot of money. And up to date, they have the Rockefeller Foundation that works and help education, they help health issues and other things. They hired Ivy Lee to even be their public relations officer. So these ones have contributed tremendously to the development and growth of PR in the United States. And in the late 1900s, he became the even public relations officer for the railroad companies in the United States. Okay, and that was the first time in the late 1800s. That was the first time the word public relation or the term public relation was used for the rail companies in the United States. Then, First World War, publicity board at Bombay. Bombay is now Mumbai, for the dissemination of war news. They employed, during the First World War, they employed publicity to disseminate war news to the public and the press. During the Second World War, publicity gained importance at both private and government institutions. Archaeologists have discovered bulletins of war news, bulletins of farm news or farm information in Iraq, meaning that during that time there was that publicity. PI was working, and farmers were getting information as to the best techniques or new techniques or technologies that they can employ to up their game as farmers. Now the new generation or the new age emphasizes 4 things. 1, it emphasizes the accuracy and honesty of information issued by PR personnel. That you can't just get up and do anything. We issue information to the public, and it should be accurate and it should be honest. Then increased public voice. Public voice have increased so much in the new age. Like we have pressure groups nowadays. Pressure groups. So if an entity is doing something that is not in conformity with the public, pressure group will come up, you know, and a lot of things will you have to work so hard to make sure that the right thing is done. So increase public voices, greater concern with public opinions by organization, and a shift from reactive to proactive PR. Now, the difference between a reactive and proactive means that with the reactive, you wait for the whatever should happen will happen, then you come and do the damage control. That is the reactive PR.
Hello, sir. Sir
Yes,
Dennis.
yes,
Yeah.
madam.
Please. Some of us have another class
Okay,
to
okay,
attend.
okay.
I'm sorry.
So when do we meet? I think I was informed that we should schedule to meet for the other two sections. So when are we meeting for the two sections, please?
Okay,
Sir, maybe
please.
we can have
Can we
it.
communicate it? Pardon?
Yes. Okay. Yes. So you want to think about it and later you communicate, right?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. So when
But sir, we don't have a platform, so where are
that,
you going to get that information from?
so if you can decide
Because,
now so that everybody will be aware of.
yeah, but you are our
I want
facilitator.
to
So you, as soon as
democrat.
you give it to us, everybody will come on board.
Master, it's not like that too.
Yeah, it's not like that. We
Yes,
also
you
have
can't say that. We
agreement
need
with
to
other
plan.
lectures too during the
Yes,
So
week.
when is
because this
You know.
evening we're meeting our business company law, company and partnership law
Mm-hmm.
lecture. So we need to plan. Do you
yes.
understand?
So let's
We have
plan.
to
Yeah,
plan and
what
communicate it
you are
with him.
saying is perfect, but where are we going to get the information from? That's my problem.
We will get it from our class rep. It's the responsibility of the class rep to get
Okay.
the lecturer's contact. Then we decide on our platform, individual platform per centers. So when we
Okay.
conclude, then the centers will be the class rep centers. The centers of the class rep, they will be communicated among the centers, the class reps. Do you understand? Then it will be communicated
Okay.
to the lecturer. Then we will
Okay.
know the time.
Okay. I think your suggestion is perfect.
But
I guess
sir,
yes, sir.
you see, the company law should be face to face. So if there are maybe other centers are doing it online, okay, it is fair enough.
My brother is face to face, but the lecturer is supposed to get additional 1 hour, like that of
Let
the
me finish.
public relation.
Okay. Let
Do
me
you
finish.
understand?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Let me finish with what
Yesterday we met him, Riverview Center. We met him, and then he made mention that made us to understand that we should get additional 1 hour. Do you understand? So we'll be meeting him, and that one was finalized yesterday. So this one, if we need additional 1 hour, then it means that we need to agree upon it, and it should be done through the channel, through the class rep per
you
each
see,
center.
Okay.
you
Hello.
see, nobody is saying don't meet your lecturer. Okay. That is specific to your center. Okay. The class is made up of other centers as well. Okay. So if there should be any other decision, it should factor every single sector. Yes, you
Okay.
can do your class, but when say gives us, okay, maybe we can meet within the week this time, we can go ahead with that. You understand?
And what we are saying is that that thing is not appropriate.
Please
We
calm
need to
down and
we,
let's.
we need to think through before.
Hello.
Do you
Hello.
understand?
Hello.
Guys, I'm going to create a
Yes, sir.
page, put every one of you on it. Then
Okay.
we
Okay.
communicate the time that will be appropriate for all of us. Then I'll call Sir back and let him
Okay.
know
But
the
great.
time.
I think somebody made a suggestion that I think you can take it on board. Like
Okay.
the centers have reps.
Yes, sir.
So if the center reps can agree on something that is convenient for everybody, then that is
Yes, sir. That's what I was saying.
yeah. So that is so that nobody will be left out. No center will be left out. So if the center reps are here, please, center reps, try and conclude on something, and that should be communicated to me and everybody, so that we can meet. I think
Exactly.
that is okay.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
Okay. So I thank you very much. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting for that agreed time.
The weekends must be taken into consideration because it is exhausted. So
What
if you want, it has to be within the weekday, please.
please are you saying?
I was saying that if you have to meet for this 1 hour top up, it has to be
Okay.
considered within the weekday,
Okay.
not the weekends
Please,
are exhausted.
with that, please, if anybody has anything to say about this, I think it would be appropriate if we communicate to our center rep, so that
Exactly.
when the center reps meet, they can bring our views on the decision.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
let's do that. Let's do that. But I'll be waiting for the center reps to communicate something too. Thank you very much.
Exactly, sir.
Yes, sir.
You are most welcome, sir.
Yeah, we hope to the 1 hour. Okay. Okay.
Very
Bye bye,
good.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Center reps, please share your contact here so that we can create a common platform that will communicate it, whatever information, so that we can let her know for your class. 57 a.m. Oh, they are all gone. Okay.
No. We started sharing. We started sharing.
Oh, okay. I have River View here.
Yeah. We are sharing. Myself, I'm typing.
Okay.
So we can all have a group.
Yeah, we'll do that so that all the centers, we can all have one PR level 300p platform.
Yes.
Yeah, my nipa ho chile na this time we say
Every information shared, we can all have access to it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Suraj, you're the course rep for where? For which center, please? Suraj Adams. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, am I saying you're the course rep for which center, please?
Tamale.
Tamale, yeah, true. It's true. Okay. Please, are we done so that we can all go? Riverview, how many are you? How many course reps? Me who Kingsley here and I see Godfred as well with 2 different numbers.
Yeah, Godfred is the class rep for Become Management. So for Riverview.
Okay.
And myself.
And then Kingsley
Yeah, Kingsley speaking.
is a member, is a
A
course
classmate.
mate or
Yeah,
okay.
course me.
Okay, I get
You
it
know
now.
the rest. So you
Yes,
kindly share
get
your
the
number.
reps. Mm-hmm.
Share your number to with Godfred. Then Godfred
Godfred. Mm-hmm.
will
We'll
accumulate
also
all
add
the
you to
good
the
members.
main page.
Yes. So I would suggest that the administrators should be each of the
For
centers. So
yes.
that in case the course rep of each center want to add a class
Mm-hmm.
member, then it will be more
Yeah.
easier.
Yes.
So that the
That's
burden
how
will
it's
be
going to be.
decentralized. Will be
Sure.
decentralized. The pressure will come on your top. Yeah, sure.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Please,
So you
any
please
other
go.
centers? This time, we don't know how many centers we have altogether. We don't know whether last time they gave us a list of schools that are doing a certain course under a certain lecture, but this time I haven't received that, so I don't know how many centers that we have altogether here. But for now, we are Lashibi, Accra, we have Tamale, we have Medina, and then we have Riverview.
Why is also there? I don't know. Check for me.
Who?
Wow.
That's what I'm saying, that we don't have the list. I don't have the list of schools, I can't sample centers that are supposed to be on this page or on this platform. If not, I would have found a way to contact their course reps elsewhere so that they can get me all the management. But me need listening to know. Yeah, Hannah, just say yes.
Hello, me pacho na apa ise.
Mo Ofri Apa is.
Yes, please.
Who is the course rep?
That is why I don't know.
Are you a new student?
Yes, please.
Yeah, please find out from Mosenta who you share your number to me. So when you get hold of your course rep, you send it to me. I'll chat with you so that anytime you get hold of your course rep's contact, you send it to me.
Okay, I should send it
But
to
he's
you.
supposed to be on this page. Wamba.
It's like yes, as of yesterday, they said she wasn't around. There were two. The two of themselves wasn't around, but somebody was there. Samson. I don't know whether she was able to join this
Okay.
lectures or not.
Okay, a friend of mine has just sent me a list. So may go through me now. I'll find a way to get their course reps.
Okay.
I'm not understanding something. It's like, can the group be like whoever that wants to join from like the PR students? Maybe can't you join? Can't it be a group that you can also join?
No, we will do a WhatsApp page that will put all the PR students, all those doing PR on the page.
Okay.
So now we want to get your course reps contact so that no them better so on the page. Me, I don't have all of your contacts.
Okay.
So it is your course rep that will. I'm the course rep in my center. So I'll put all my members on the page. Riverview course rep will also put all his members or her members on the page, same as WA and other centers. So we the members we will add you, but you want to get hold of your course rep first.
Because some of us are new students. Me like this, I don't know my course rep.
Oh,
so share your contact with her.
Yes. So you put your contacts there, I'll take it in. Pacho, me wait for you, Pacho. So share your contacts. The lady from WA.
And the lady from Upper East.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hey, Pacho, I'm going off.
No, please hold on. (054) 936.
Hello.
Yeah.
The lady from Upper East, I'm trying to do and it's giving me some listen. Can I please just mention it if you have something to write there?
It's not going through.
Yes, I'm trying to do and my phone is misbehaving.
Okay, no problem. You give me the number. 0
249
249
64
64
00
00
84.
84.
The name
Please,
is
the name
Priscilla.
Chris. Okay.
Mm.
Please,
Thanks.
Auntie Gloria, I've
Chris
shared my own. I don't know whether you have seen it.
Joyce.
Yes, Upper West.
Yes, I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen. Okay. Priscilla from Wow.
Upper East.
Hey. Okay, Upper West first. So this is Upper East.
Mm.
Okay. Pacho area.
Pachai.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
later, Kasa. All
Yeah.
right. Bye bye.
No.